That's Cauldron with Last Request off of their new disc, New Gods. Before that was Ozzy Osbourne with Steal Away, parentheses, The Night, close parentheses, off of Blizzard of Oz. This is Ken the Metal Professor. You've been listening to Mostly Metal here on WVLP 103.1 FM in Valparaiso, Indiana, your all-volunteer, nonprofit community radio station. And now it's time for the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program.
Your insubordination will not be tolerated.
This is the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program here on WVLP. This is about a 25-minute version of the show, which contains only half of what you might want to listen to. Last night in Bourbon, Indiana, after getting rear-ended on the way, I made it to the show and recorded audio from the show to mush together into a compressed audio recap of the events. The total audio recap takes about 40 minutes, so I'm going to split it in half at intermission. I'm going to play the first half here on the air, and if you're interested enough to want to also hear the second half, then go search on NWIWRAP episode 60 on YouTube in another day or two, and you'll find the whole kit and caboodle, and you can listen to the whole thing. The audio is going to be garbage for reasons that you will hear once the recording starts. I debated whether or not to try to air it because it does sound a little bit like garbage. But that was my fault, and I figured, what the heck, nobody's listening anyway, so why not? This is Ken the Metal Professor representing WVLP in Bourbon, Indiana at Pro Wrestling King's Halloween Mania 5 being held at the Bourbon Park Pavilion and Splash Pad. In the summertime, it would be sunny and hot. Now that it's fall, it's kind of humid, and it's in between hot and chilly, if that makes sense. The temperature is chilly, but it's been raining for a long time, and so the air is just muggy. The doors to the outside of the pavilion are closed, so there's no cross breeze, but there's lots of fans. My idea here, as usual, is to record audio from tonight's event and then compress it down to about a half-hour recap for your entertainment on the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program. Here's what's been going on up to this point, and the card is about to begin in 5 minutes or less. Bourbon is about an hour from Valparaiso, and about halfway here, when it was too late to turn around and go back, I realized that in packing my car, I brought my table, my computer, all my microphones and cables, but not my mixing board. So the only input device I have is one teeny tiny little, what's the brand? I don't even know what it is. It's a Behringer. It's a little teeny tiny single input mixing. I'm not even going to call it a board. It's like a little mixing box. It's a little bit bigger than a deck of cards. So I can use one microphone, but this microphone is only giving me a mono track. And so we're going to go with it and see how it goes. So the day was starting off badly. And then on my way here, Google normally asks me to turn left on a particular back street and makes me do kind of a zigzag Z-shaped drive to get from the main street in Bourbon here to the park. And I decided to outsmart it by going one street farther down the road before I turn left and just go directly to the park. So when I ignored the request to turn first and I kept going straight and put on my brakes to turn left at the next intersection, I put on my brakes and turned on my turn signal, and then I heard that awful sound of tires on pavement that are trying to stop, but they aren't going to stop. And I look in my rearview mirror just in time to see the car crash into me from behind. So, yeah, that happened. That took about 15 or 20 minutes out of my day, so I've forgotten my mixing board. I've been rear-ended at an intersection, and I only have a mono input. This is wonderful, but it's wrestling. It's going to make me happy. There's already been a pre-show match just to keep people entertained who got here a little early. It was a 5-person Monsters Rumble, 5 combatants in an over-the-top battle royal, or maybe a battle somewhat royal with only 5 people. There was a Donald Trump, I think a Mike Pence, a clown, a gorilla and a Spider-Man. And in the end, the Spider-Man eliminated the gorilla to win the Rumble. And the Spider-Man took off his mask to reveal that it was Jared Kripke. So there was great rejoicing, not only by the audience, but by copyright attorneys everywhere. The main show will start in just a couple of minutes. All right, the show is underway. It's Halloween Mania 5. Ring announcer Ryan Anderson has announced the first match is a Keys to the Kingdom Scramble match. And I'll let you know what that means once I find out. The four-way scramble is just about to get underway. The 4 participants are introduced. The last one came out and opened a bottle of champagne, which sprayed over lots of people, and then he passed it around. Sean Taylor took a drink, the referee did not. And then, having taken a drink, Sean Taylor blew mist of champagne into the faces of the other 2 combatants. I wonder if it's alcohol-free. It's a 4-way scramble. 2 of the participants have been fighting on the outside of the ring for quite a while. So it's more like match A and match B. The Ultimate Man, Tony Scott, has won the Keys to the Kingdom Rumble. Ring announcer Ryan Anderson brought out a gigantic key, so it's literally a key to the kingdom. I'm guessing this is a Money in the Bank type of thing where he gets to cash that thing in for a title shot sometime.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Initiated by Red Frank. Introducing first. Females from South Bend, Indiana, and weight seen at 255 pounds. Matt Scott!
The second match is Idle Hines against, I believe, Matt Strong. I have missed a whole bunch of PWK this summer because there's so many shows all over the place. And so there's a few people I am not familiar with, and that's a bad thing.
And here's one that has no separation. Idle Hines!
Idle Hines wins by submission. And nobody wants to chant along with him. Because he just seems mean. I don't blame anybody. From the announcement at the end of the match, I've learned that the other dude's name is not Matt Strong, but Matt Starr. Apologies for that mix-up at the beginning. And here come the participants in match number 3, and oh my goodness. Michael Myers, a man in blue psychiatric ward overall looking things, has rushed to the ring, taken off his face mask. And he's now beating on Matt Starr. Oh my, he pulled a fork out from his boots and he's digging the fork into the forehead of Matt Starr. The locker room is emptied of a bunch of people coming out to get Psycho out of the way. And I heard somebody call him Psycho from the crowd, so I'm guessing he is Psycho by name as well as by disposition. Again, I'm doing this from the position of not having been to a lot of PWK shows recently, and so my familiarity with many of the workers is not what it should be. The Thieves of Greatness, Sadan and Theo Storm, who have a match later, were a couple of the people that came out to try to settle things down, and Psycho had his eyes on them, and they just kind of backed their way through the curtain again, not wanting any of that. Psycho is now making his way to the back, slowly. Ryan Anderson has decided it's safe to get back in the ring. In this next match, we have a large gentleman named Steeples against Excalibur. We'll see how many times Excalibur gets upside down during this match. Steeples had Excalibur in a bear hug, and Excalibur was getting counted out. 1, 2. He came around right before 3, as people do in bear hugs, fought back a little bit, came off the ropes, and Steeples just knocked him hard back down to the mat. And that was that loud splat noise you just heard. Excalibur is just getting hammered in this match, but he will not quit. He's kicked out of about 6 to 8 pinfalls so far. Steeples is taking off a turnbuckle now. The top turnbuckle and turnbuckle pad in one of the corners he's taken off. What does Rule of Wrestling number 4 say about turnbuckles? He's the one that went into it. Steeples is down on the mat. Excalibur is fuzzily through the cloud of semi-consciousness climbing to the top. He's going to go upside down, isn't he? Yep. Shooting star press. And Excalibur wins. Fortunately for him, he did not hit the ceiling fan, which is spinning above the ring when he did that.
Is this spooky? Is this spooky? Boogie. It's going to be a real good night for the Rat Pack. One. As long as you take business and make that road, it's going to be a real good night. But I know you'll do that. We're going to keep the tag titles. Sean Tyler is going to win the main event medal row. He becomes the NWIWRAP World Champion. Tony Thunder, well, everybody knows Tony Thunder takes care of business anytime he steps in the ring. What's the matter with you? You know, it's real funny how stuff comes full circle. About a year ago, if you were around and you were paying attention, they put a great big cage around this ring. PWK and Eric King said his best and his brightest, and they got laid down. And we pretty much took control of the weekend. Then for the entire year, let's talk about it for a hot second. One, Sean Tyler. get you two blocks here in a few minutes. You two. If we'll do that to a woman, think about what we're going to do to you two. It's over for PWK. It's over.
It appears Lisa King has been unceremoniously dumped from the Rat Pack. Diesel Troxy did the talking. Steven Drochner did the deed. The Thieves of Greatness, Damian Saint, the Celtic Nightmare, came out to even the odds, and they are taking Lisa back through the curtain. That was pretty despicable. Looks like it's time for the women's match, and they have their own ring announcer. The women's championship match is underway. Sadie Vanderkamp against Moxie Molly. The ring announcer that they brought out for this match still has a live mic, and she's going around interviewing crowd members during the match. Moxie Molly retains her PWK Women's Championship. It's a little early, but people are in the Halloween spirit, and it's time for a costume contest. There are 3 contestants. Oh, here comes a 4th. There's a Harlequin. There's a young boy in zombie face paint. There's a girl with face paint around her eyes, like Domino. A little girl with angel wings, and a little Jason boy. Ryan Anderson is going down the line and getting applause for each one. I'm voting for the little angel girl. So far, the top 3 are the Harlequin, Angel Girl, and Jason Boy. This is tough. That's the response for the Harlequin. The Angel. And little mini Jason. It's tough. It's a tough call. And it's a tie between the two little kids, the Angel and Mini Jason. So the prize was supposed to be 2 tickets to the upcoming October 19th event. I wonder if they each get 1. The first match after intermission is a triple threat for Jared Kripke's PWK Championship. Jared Kripke, Jaden Michael Quick, and Shady Chris Zion. The crowd started calling Shady Chris Zion a chicken. His music started accompanying that, and he had a tantrum and stomped off into the back. But he's back out now. Now he's complaining about the other people in the match delaying things. And Jared Kripke's had enough of his nonsense. Chris Zion just clobbered Jared Kripke with tape wrapped around knuckles. But all's fair in a triple threat match. Jared Kripke, Jaden Quick came up with the tape and clobbered Chris Zion with it. And now he makes to act like he's going to clobber Kripke with it. He doesn't. Kripke rolls him up sneakily. Doesn't get the 3 count though. And then Quick clobbers Kripke without the tape wrapped around his knuckles. And now Quick is after Shady Chris Zion while Jared Kripke climbs the turnbuckles. That crash was Kripke landing on both Zion and Quick. Jared Michael Quick dropped Chris Zion's face into the mat and got a 3 count. He is the new Pro Wrestling King Heritage Champion. The tag team match about to start. The Celtic Nightmare and Noah Walker against Tony Thunder and Robbie Keto. No titles on the line here, just tag team fun. Tony Thunder and his manager from the Rat Pack have walked off, leaving Robbie Keto to face that 3 count that you just heard. We have a championship match starting up here. Mitchell Taylor, the reigning Pro Wrestling King, North American champion, and challenger Cletus Farmer. Mitchell Taylor was greeted with chants of Burger King, and then an old Burger King commercial and the jingle played over the sound system, and he was not happy about that. During a ref distraction, Mitchell Taylor grabbed his briefcase, whacked Cletus Farmer in the head with it, and was able to get a 3 count. So he remains the PWK North American champion. And now the PWK Tag Team Championships are on the line. The champs are the Rat Pack, Steven Drochner and Diesel Truxy. Their opponents are the Thieves of Greatness, Sedan and Theo Storm. Diesel just claimed that the tag team titles aren't going anywhere, but we'll see. The ref got knocked out. Theo Storm and Sedan went on an offensive spree and could have had a pinfall, but there's no ref. And now the rest of the Rat Pack has invaded the ring to take advantage of the ref not being able to pay attention. But here comes more people from the locker room. Everybody's chasing everybody, and now the ring is empty except for Diesel, Truxy, and Sedan. The 4 proper people are back in the ring. Damian Saint is trying to no avail to wake up the ref. Here comes a backup ref. Who does nothing. A super kick from both Sedan and Theo Storm, and Sedan is able to pin Diesel Truxy. We have new tag team champions. The good guys are celebrating in the ring, and the Celtic Nightmare and Jaden Michael Quick get honorary Thieves of Greatness t-shirts for their help earlier in the match to clear out the Rat Pack. Diesel Truxy is laying at ringside, slowly figuring out what just happened. It's time for the 50-50 raffle. While this is going on, I'll just point out that it looks like the Rat Pack doesn't have any titles anymore after tonight. It is time for the main event. Tank has been the PWK heavyweight champion. He is dealing with some medical issues, and so had to relinquish the title. And so in place of a title defense from Tank this evening, it's a many-man over-the-top battle royal. The winner will become the new PWK heavyweight champion. I don't know exactly how many people are up there. It's a lot. Probably about 15, 16 maybe. I could try to count, but I think at least one person's already been eliminated. It's very noisy, though. Oh, Excalibur has been eliminated. Looks like there's about 12 folks left in the ring. Oh, Jaden Michael Quick has just been thrown over the top rope. Mark Starr has been eliminated. Theo Storm and Sedan have taken themselves out of the match. I think they decided enough is enough. They've already got titles. They don't need another one. Steeples is gone. Jordan Quick is gone by being thrown over the top rope. I mean, not just, dropped over with the clothesline, but thrown. And remembering what happened earlier, Jaden Quick is pouncing on him outside the ring for a little payback. I think Noah Walker has been eliminated. Cletus Farmer has been eliminated, and the Lost Cause Anthony, can't remember his last name, has been eliminated. It's now down to 2. Sean Tyler from the Rat Pack. And somebody in red tights whose name I don't know. And again, I circle back to the fact that I haven't been to enough PWK shows this year. And my knowledge of the workers is not what it ought to be. Interesting. Sean Tyler stood tall by throwing out the last entrant in the Rumble. While his back was turned to the entrance, I paused for Ryan Anderson's announcement. The winner of the Key to the Kingdom from the first match of the night came back out and was able to pin Sean Tyler immediately after Sean Tyler had won the Battle Royal. So Sean Tyler was the PWK champion for about 10 seconds, and now he's not. The Rat Pack still empty-handed now at the end of this night.